नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो। आई एम जेवीएन डॉक्टर सुमन शेखावत, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ काय चिकित्सा, फैकल्टी ऑफ आयुर्वेदिक साइंसेस, ज्योति विद्यापीठ विमेंस यूनिवर्सिटी जयपुर. Today we will discuss on cardiovascular system manual part 4. Arterial pulses should be palpated for evaluation of rate, rhythm and character and symmetry. Rate and rhythm. By convention, both rate and rhythm are assessed by palpating the right radial pulse rate expressed in beat per minute (BPM) is measured by counting the number of beats in a timed period of 15 seconds and multiplying by 4. Normal sinus rhythm is regular, but in young patient may show phasic variation in rate during respiration. Sinus arrhythmias and irregular rhythms usually indicate atrial fibrillation but may also be caused by frequent ectopic beats or self-limiting paroxysmal arrhythmias. In patients with atrial fibrillation, the rate should be measured by auscultation at the cardiac apex because beats that follow very short diastolic interval may create a pulse deficit by not generating sufficient pressure to the palpable at the radial artery. Character is defined by the volume and waveform of the pulse and should be evaluated at the right carotid artery. Example: the pulse closest to the heart and least subject to damping and distortion in the arterial tree. Pulse volume provides a crude indication of stroke volume, being small in heart failure and large in aortic regurgitation. The waveform of the pulse is of greater diagnostic importance. Symmetry. Symmetry of the radial, brachial, carotid, femoral, popliteal and pedal pulses should be confirmed. A reduced or absent pulse indicate an obstruction more proximally in the arterial tree, usually caused by atherosclerosis and thromboembolism, and less commonly by aortic dissection. Coarctation of the aorta causes symmetrical reduction and delay of the femoral pulses compared with the radial pulses. Radiofemoral delay, a sign that should be looked for a younger patient with hypertension. Bruit from collateral vessel may also be heard over the back of the patient. Measurement of blood pressure. The principle of manual blood pressure measurement is the turbulent flow through a partially compressed artery. Typically, the brachial creates noise that can be auscultated with a stethoscope, and the point at which these noise, called Korotkov sound, change in intensity, correlate with systemic arterial pressure. Accurate blood pressure measurement requires careful technique. Patient should be sitting or lying at ease as significant changes in arterial pressure occurs with exertion, anxiety and change in posture. The manometer should be at the same level of the cuff on the patient's arm and the observer's eye. For most adult patients, a standard cuff 12 centimeter width is appropriate, but obese subjects require use of a wider thigh cuff of 15 centimeter or the blood pressure will be overestimated. Palpate the radial pulse as the cuff is inflated to a pressure of 20 mm of Hg above the level at which radial pulsation can no longer be felt. Place the stethoscope lightly over the brachial artery and reduce the pressure in the cuff at a rate of 2 to 3 mm of Hg is until the first sound are heard. This is the first Korokov sound and correlate with systolic blood pressure as flow is just possible through the pressure applied by the compressive cuff. As the pressure is lowered, further subtle change in the pitch and volume occurs. These are the second and third Korokov sound and are not important clinically. With further lowering of the pressure in the cuff, the artery becomes less compressed, flow becomes less turbulent, and the sound over the brachial artery become muffled. This is the fourth Korokov sound. Shortly after this, usually 1 to 10 mmHg lower, the sound dies away completely as flow is unimpeded by the cuff. This is the fifth Korokov sound and correlate most accurately with diastolic blood pressure. It, its identification is also less subjective than the fourth, but in some condition aortic regurgitation, arteriovenous fistula, pregnancy, the Korokov sound remains audible despite complete deflation of the cuff. In such situation, phase 4 must be used for the diastolic measurement. Both systolic and diastolic values are recorded. The difference between these two values is called the pulse pressure. Certain condition of the aortic valve may cause important abnormalities of pulse pressure. Supine and erect blood pressure measurement provide an assessment of baroreceptor function, a postural drop being defined by a fall in the systolic blood pressure or on standing. It is essential to work swiftly as well as accurately as compression of a limb will be itself cause a rise in blood pressure if several successive measurements are made. The air pressure in the cuff should be allowed to fall to zero between reading. Jugular venous pressure fluctuation in right atrial pressure during the cardiac cycle generate pulse that is transmitted backward into the jugular vein. It is best examined in good light while the patient recline at 45 degree. If the right atrial pressure is very low, however, visualization of the jugular venous pulse may require a smaller reclining angle. Alternatively, manual pressure over the upper right side the abdomen may be used to produce a transient increasing in venous return to the heart, which elevates the jugular venous pressure. Hepatojugular reflexes. Jugular venous pressure. The jugular venous pressure JVP should be assessed from the waveform of the internal jugular vein which lies adjacent to the medial border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Distension of the external jugular vein is a useful clue to an elevated JVP, but strictly speaking, should not be it should not be used because it can be compressed as it passes under the clavicle. The JVP is measured in centimeter vertically from the sternal angle to the top of the venous waveform. The normal upper limit is 4 centimeter. This is about 9 centimeter above the right atrium and correspond to a pressure of 6 mm of Hg. Elevation of the JVP indicate a raised right atrial pressure unless the superior vena cava is obstructed, producing engorgement of the neck veins. During inspiration, the pressure within the chest decreases and there is a fall in the JVP. In constrictive pericarditis and less commonly in tamponade, inspiration produced a paradoxical rise in the JVP Kussmaul sign because the increased venous return that occurs during inspiration can't be accommodated within the constrained right side of the heart. Causes of elevated JVP is jugular venous pressure, congestive heart failure, core pulmonary embolism, right ventricular infraction, tricuspid valve disease, tamponade, constrictive pericarditis, hypertrophic restrictive cardiomyopathy. Causes of elevated jugular venous pressure, congestive heart failure, core pulmonary embolism, right ventricular infraction, tricuspid valve disease, tamponade, constrictive pericarditis, hypertrophic restrictive cardiomyopathy, superior vena cava obstruction, iatrogenic fluid overload, and particularly in surgical renal patient of the chest wall, palpation of the chest wall. The apex beat is defined as the lowest and most lateral point at which the cardiac impulses can be palpated. Inferior or lateral displacement from its normal location in the fifth intercostal space in the mid-clavicular line usually indicate cardiac enlargement. Chronic volume loading of the left ventricle, mitral regurgitation, aortic regurgitation causes left ventricle dilatation, which can be appreciated clinically. In contrast, isolated pressure loading of the left ventricle, hypertension, aortic stenosis causes left ventricular hypertrophy, which doesn't cause displacement of the apex beat. Palpable third and fourth heart sound give the apical impulse a double thrust. In the past, considerable importance was attached to the characters of the apical impulse. Thrusting in aortic valve disease, tapping in mitral stenosis, but this is of very limited practical value in the modern era. Left ventricle's aneurysm can sometimes be palpated medial to the cardiac apex. Right ventricular enlargement produces a systolic thrust heave in the left parasternal areas. The turbulent flow responsible for murmurs may produce palpable vibration thrills on the chest wall, particularly in aortic stenosis, ventricular septal defect, and patent ductus arteriosus. Some of question in this session like how many Korokov sound are described, which is not a cause of JVP. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. I hope you all are satisfied with this session. If you have any kind of problem with this session, please mention it in comment box. I will resolve it soon. Thank you.